Some funny facts have come up about this Kremlin character. Sergey, when was the last time you were in the US anyway?
In the US? Well, before the war. Before the war, before the sanctions.
Special military. Now it's a war, right? But that's not the point.
There's Peskov sitting across from me, my press secretary. Sometimes he spouts such nonsense. I watch him on TV myself and think, what is he even talking about? Who told him to say that?
Yet they're all out of their minds over there. Well, actually, if we talk about the biography, or more precisely about the ancestors of the man with the talking mustache, Putin, and about Peskov, all of that was classified as top secret for a long time. And now, some very interesting details about Peskov are coming to light. It turns out Peskov comes from a family of spies with a Bolshevik past. In Peskov's family tree, the Communist Party and the KGB are intertwined. His ancestors were respected under Lenin, Stalin, and Brezhnev. Ah, now it makes sense. The puzzle pieces fit together once again. Of course, the whole Peskov family often spends time or lives in the West. His daughter is there and all that, but, well, that's not important.
We don't quite understand yet, but really, we patiently and steadily continue working in order to reach some kind of mutual understanding, taking our time as we go.
Yes, and what's symbolic is that this inadequate person is Putin's press secretary. So, when it comes to promoting their boss, they're having one PR failure after another in the Kremlin. Here's a specific case from this week.
Red Square is closed off. A scene that unfolded right by the Kremlin walls accidentally made it on air.
And let me just point out, this disgrace definitely wasn't shown on Russian state TV. But I'll show it to you.
Vladimir Putin didn't go to the front lines and instead, on National Unity Day, met with a group of school children. This time, the Kremlin's master didn't kiss a boy on the stomach, but he couldn't hold back on the compliments.
Father, where are you going, Buckerson?
Yeah, it's that typical polished, I'd even say creamy picture, polished by the Kremlin. But then unexpectedly, things don't go according to plan.
Putin was about to leave, but then the initiator of the war had to hear a harsh truth, one that most likely isn't reported to him.
My uncle is at the front right now. He was wounded in the arm. He was in the hospital. They're not treating him at all, and now they're sending him on a mission.
What do you think will happen to the girl's uncle now?
You know, I think that the girl's uncle will be sent back to die in Ukraine no matter what. But that's far from the main disgrace, not Putin's biggest failure of the week.
I just want to say, are you idiots or what?
Well, look who's talking. This week, Putin once again started threatening the states with his petrol missiles, Poseidons, and other so-called nuts.
We are conducting another training exercise for our strategic forces and deterrence. We will practice the actions of officials in managing the use of nuclear weapons, including live launches of ballistic missiles.
Well, Trump is clearly tired of listening to this, so he launches, attention, his own intercontinental ballistic missile into the sky. The Kremlin needs to stop barking.
Look at how it flew, and most importantly, where it went. The US launched a missile after Putin's nuclear threats. There it is, a real beauty, the Minuteman III.
Just want to point out that while Putin is telling fairy tales about his Burevestniks and Poseidons, Trump actually has about 500 of these nuclear missiles. And they can reach Moscow very quickly. Yes, in the Kremlin, they immediately soiled their pants, but at first they tried to act tough. So, they called a Security Council meeting. That's the one where they didn't invite Lavrov. And they started trying to scare Trump again, acting all tough. This part is honestly hilarious.
Preparation for full-scale nuclear tests to begin immediately.
I'm telling you, that's powerful, really powerful. Then Putin also tried to puff up his cheeks, to look tough. Well, since he's the commander-in-chief and all. About
the possible beginning of initial work to prepare for nuclear weapons testing.
I'm telling you, that's it. He said it like it was final. But seriously, you understand Putin,
A coward, truly a coward, and a coward.
Exactly. He immediately switched to his bunker mode. And who has to take the heat? This time, do you know who had to humiliate themselves in front of Trump? That's right, Peskov. It's classic. The Kremlin started making excuses after the Russian dictator Putin ordered the resumption of nuclear tests. Apparently, there wasn't even any talk about resuming the tests. It was about something else, said Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov. So why else did Putin get so scared, really? Once again, something happened in the sky over Moscow. For the second time in 2 weeks, a fireball was spotted. They say it was a meteorite again. But who really knows? Maybe it was Trump's doing after all.
I was trying to escape. We managed something about you, you damn wanderer of boredom. The stars died. Who
were you?
I don't know. Looks like a comet or something.
Yeah.
But in any case, Peskov tried to cover for Putin in front of Trump somehow. But no, it didn't work out for him. Trump is already openly saying that Putin wants to go to war, and he doesn't like that attention. Russians don't want to stop. This is the main disagreement that prevented the summit with Putin from happening. And these are no longer just words. The fact is, Trump, Erdogan, and the president of Azerbaijan, Aliyev, have decided to take action against Putin, not just talk. I'll tell you exactly how in a moment.
A historic meeting at the White House. The leaders of Central Asia were received in the US to highlight their importance in the current global agenda. And by the end of the day, billion-dollar deals were signed with Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan.
So let's look at this in more detail. So US President Donald Trump is meeting at the White House with the leaders of 5 Central Asian countries. These are Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan.
It is a great honor for me to be with these incredible leaders. These are highly respected people. And there are no games here. They don't play games, I want to tell you that. And
you understand, not so long ago, these countries were completely under the Kremlin's influence. But now that's over. Moscow, goodbye.
It was reported that Trump wants to seriously enter a market that is already tired of Moscow. And if both the US and China get seriously involved here, then there is no point in cooperating with the Kremlin's struggling economy. Let them get out of their crisis on their own if they don't appreciate the importance of Central Asia.